Hey guys, I'm JanetOnOccasion, and today we have some Troy news. That's right, Troy news. Although generally my excitement for this title has waned a little bit over the last few months. Suddenly they found a way to get me interested again, and I think that'll be the case for a lot of you guys as well. That's right, the new Mythos DLC has been announced, and this coincides with the Steam release as well, which I know a lot of people have been waiting for. Personally, I don't care where it is, it's still on my PC, that's good enough for me, but I know a lot of you have been waiting for the Steam release, and the fact that it's a Steam release coming alongside really cool DLC that a lot of you guys, I think, wished the game was like originally, and we'll get into why. We'll get into why, shall we? Because I haven't explained what it is at all yet. You guys are probably looking at me all puzzled, like, what are you talking about? Okay, what things? What things, Janet? These things. So, A Total War Saga Troy Mythos FAQ. So, thank you once again, Ben Barrett, for writing up a lovely blog. I do love these lovely blogs. So, A Total War Saga Troy is expanding with the massive Mythos DLC on September the 2nd. Ages away. That is ages away from now. But it's coming, so, you know. Really odd. They seem to be doing that more recently with the smaller titles. They did it with Rome Remastered as well, just announcing stuff like way ahead of schedule. It's really quite bizarre, but oh well. I'm not going to knock it. So, it's the largest update for the game, bringing entire new game modes, systems reworks, and much more in this ever-evolving FAQ as we lead up to launch. We'll give you all the knowledge you need to proceed. So the basics. Good place to start with the basics. This is probably how I should have started my video, huh? Rather than getting all excited and off topic, I suppose. So anyway, what is Mythos? Mythos is the largest and greatest DLC expansion for A Total War Saga Troy. It introduces an entirely new campaign game mode, which adds mythical monsters, quests to capture them, divine powers, and much more to the ancient world. These represent the beliefs and legends of the ancient peoples brought to life to see who would master the battlefield. The Lernian Hydra, the Griffin Patriarch, and the mighty Cerberus await heroes and leaders brave or foolhardy enough to seek their assistance. With enough guile, wit, and battle skill, you can bring them into your service, and with them will come their legions of followers, special abilities, and new gameplay opportunities. In addition, units and concepts previously depicted with their real-world equivalents, such as harpies, centaurs, the Cyclops, and more, have been reimagined as their mythical counterparts. The Divine Will system is expanded, allowing you to take control of the thunderbolts of Zeus himself, or the epic tides of Poseidon. Really cool. So this is, I think a lot of people were hoping for sort of like an Age of Mythology style, sort of mythical game when Troy was announced, you know? A lot of people didn't really like the truth behind the myth thing, and a lot of people also didn't like the fact that they had like the champions that could kill hundreds of people on their own either. It was a weird way to split the difference that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. This is a huge step to fixing that for the people who wanted more fantasy, you know, more mythology in their mythological setting, I suppose. So that's good, but the other side is also addressed, and we'll get to that. So, whoa. So this isn't a historical game anymore. Oh no. I mean, who cares? Look at that guy. Look at this guy. Look at this big old Hydra. Isn't that fun? I love it. So anyway, on the contrary, as part of the free update that will launch alongside Troy Mythos, we are introducing a dedicated historically authentic mode called, no prizes for guessing, Historical Mode. This will not only have access, this will not only not have access to the creatures and features of the new mythological mode, but also replace powerful single entity units and make other changes from the truth behind the myth mode that sits between the two, and will also still be available for play. We'll talk more about this in the future. So now there are 3 game modes, guys. There are 3 game modes. There's the current one, you know, where we've got kind of like the heroes of the day can still go toe-to-toe with 100 soldiers at a time. So that's all, you know, good and well and fun. But there's also a mode where they have their bodyguard unit, much like sort of, you know, Rome and older, you know, more historical titles, right? The more traditionally historical titles. So that's really fun. So, you know, everybody's mortal mode, I suppose. And then you got the full-on mythological mode with the new Mythos DLC. And I love that they've reinvented everything. Like, it could have been so easy for them just to go, okay, we'll have the stuff in the DLC, but the old stuff we better not touch, right? They've changed all of it. Like, they've completely changed the way the game functions in terms of like its presentation of that stuff, which is amazing. So, when is it coming out? Troy, Mythos, and the associated free update will launch Thursday, September the 2nd at 3 PM BST or 7 AM PST. How much will it cost? Can I buy it now? Is there a pre-order bonus? So Mythos is available for pre-order on the Epic Games Store for $19.99, €24.99 euros, or $24.99. Right now, no pre-order bonuses. Haven't you been on the Epic Games Store for a year now? That's correct. So we're also launching Troy on Steam at the same time, along with all its DLC. You can read about that in the Troy on Steam FAQ, which we will be looking at. The short version is that the two versions will be in complete parity with each other now and forever. So, going forward, anything that releases on one releases on the other. One gets patched, the other one gets patched. They're going to be the same version, can be completely identical games. Just, I guess, a different overlay. And you use a different button to launch them, I guess. But, you know, same game, which is nice. Gameplay. What are the Mythos mythical monsters? The three mythical monsters that will be available in Troy Mythos are the Lernian Hydra, the Griffin Patriarch, and Cerberus. Look at Cerberus there. Is that so cool? Big old devil doggo. Wonderful. So each has their own set of associated units, buildings in battle, and on-map special abilities, and other bits and pieces depending on which you recruit. That is a task in itself. Each beast requires a great quest on your part, dispatching a hero and his troops to find evidence of, track down, and eventually fight and recruit the great beast. This is a mythic expedition, and can only be attempted per campaign, so choose... Oh, and only one that can be attempted per campaign, so choose wisely. So you have to pick which mythical beast to track down for each campaign, which I do wonder. It's a very powerful thing. I imagine it's a case of if you get your beast, then you kind of want the other beast to be in possession of other people, so that way you can have other factions elevated to that kind of threat level, you know? So maybe that's the case. We'll have to wait and see, I suppose. So, as part of this mythic expedition, your troops will face 5 dilemmas you will need to resolve, preparing your army for the final confrontation. When you eventually track down and begin the final phase of the hunt, a mighty battle will take place, and, with you taking control of the monster if you win. The cost is that this army is otherwise occupied for its entire journey and will not be able to help in the defense of your lands or your conquests. When you can afford to do so is up to you. So that's really interesting that you have you suddenly have to basically write off an army. An army will just be removed from your kingdom, and it has to be a good one too, because you want to be able to defeat the mythical monster at the end of it, right? So that sounds like quite an investment, but a hell of a reward if you can get something that looks like that, you know? I'd say fair enough. So, once you have finished... Nope, the cost is... Yep, sorry, that was the paragraph I was on. I am keeping track, I am very clever, shush. So, once you've finished a mythic expedition, your monster of choice will act as an agent on the map, capable of carrying out various special actions, as well as joining armies to fight as a powerful unit. Why on earth you just have, like, a Cerberus running around poisoning people's wells? No, get it in the army. What's wrong with you people? Your campaign antagonist will also be able to obtain their own mythic monster, and they will do so before you if you leave it too long. Make your choices carefully. That is really cool. That is really fun. So you can either, because like having an entire army be removed from play for a while it's doing these quests, that's obviously incredibly expensive to do it early, but that will give you a leg up against the opposition. However, if you wait, yeah, you might have a bunch of armies and you're doing well and you're building your empire, and maybe you have the economy and just the general forces to be able to handle your rival having an advantage if they get hold of the thing first. So it's really sort of risk-reward thing going on, which sounds great. I really like the sound of that. So, make your choices carefully. What else has changed in Mythological Mode? Mythological Mode has a large number of other changes, gameplay and visual. We've updated battle maps and the campaign map to bring the gods of ancient Greece closer, quite literally. Their faces now appearing in the skies above your engagements. They can also have much stronger presence on the battlefield, lending you their aid if you have managed to suitably impress them, in the form of unique abilities to destroy your enemies or make your troops into colossi, figuratively speaking. That sounds awesome. That sounds really cool. So actually getting like battle abilities that are sort of tuned to the flavour of whatever god is favoured, whatever flavor you've garnered. So that sounds fun. Units you may be familiar with, such as centaurs, minotaurs, and harpies, among others, have also been redesigned and upgraded into their actual monstrous counterparts. Expect flight and other special abilities. So yeah, a new campaign, well, new battle dynamic there. Flying units. Funnily enough, the Bronze Age didn't have a lot of, didn't have much of an air force, I guess. Now it can, so that's really cool. So, the free update. So there's a free update coming alongside Troy Mythos, as they, as CA tends to do. So alongside the aforementioned historical mode, we're also reworking the supply line system into an administration system for all three modes. So if you're anything like me, you hate supply lines because supply lines sucks. You do need to avoid snowballing. Having snowballing as a thing in-game is rubbish, but supply lines just doesn't feel like a great way of doing it, because it just sort of encourages you to have elite stacks. So you have like better armies rather than more of them, and sometimes having more armies is more fun because you get to play with like lower tier units for longer, which I much prefer. I think that's really fun, and it also means you can sort of have temporary armies just sort of acting as a slightly buffed garrison, which I really like. But yeah, supply lines, it's a percentage penalty for the more armies you have, so you don't want many armies, so you may as well make the armies you have matter, right? So it's, yeah, I don't like it. I'm glad that they've introduced something new here. So this involves a new pooled resource, administration burden. Each hero, unit, and settlement has a defined amount of administration burden. Units have different amounts based on their tier. The stronger the unit is, the more administration burden they cost. The same is true of settlements. Heroes also have a cost, while epic heroes are cheaper. The more administration burden a player has, the more negative effects are unlocked, but in return, royal decrees and influence will be gained faster. The costs for recruitment and upkeep go higher, and are broken down by resource. Food costs are the first to go up, followed by bronze and gold. We didn't want it to purely feel bad that you were growing your armies, hence the benefits to royal decrees and influence from being a large and powerful empire. So again, there's risk-reward stuff going on there, which is really, really cool. So our general goals here were to allow for different variations of play. Smaller armies don't punish you any harder than a few massive ones, as well as lower the impact of hiring heroes, so it doesn't lead to immediate massive spikes in prices. It should feel fairer and less impactful overall, while still being something you feel the need to manage or make decisions based on. We're looking forward to feedback on it. So the free update will also be adding achievements to both the Epic and Steam versions of the game, as well as the usual piles of bug fixes and balance tweaks. For full details on these, full details on all of these will be in the patch notes due the week of launch. What does historical mode change? We'll have the full details in a dedicated blog post closer to release, but the intent is to strip back on mythical elements such as single entity units, battlefield defining special abilities, and the like. The game should and will still be fun, but also a more accurate representation of Bronze Age warfare between armies of the time. No names are heroic figures, but not titans of endless strength and endurance. Naturally, it will be a completely optional mode, and the classic Troy Truth Behind the Myth mode will still be available. So really awesome. So we got Steam release, we got mythical monsters, we have more mythical monsters, and we have historical fans can be happy with this. But what's great for the historical fans as well is they don't even have to buy this DLC, as far as I can tell, because all the free stuff is the historical stuff. The DLC is only more mythical things to play with. So that's kind of awesome. So if you just want to play like you're playing, sort of Rome Total War or something, then you've got it covered, which is awesome. I think that's really nice. I think it's I think it's great how they've done that. I think it really is good. Although I think some clarification on whether the mythological mode is available at all. Hang on. It introduces an entirely new campaign mode. Okay, it seems you have to buy Mythos to get the mythical mode. So if you want sort of harpies and centaurs and all that stuff to be mythical, you'll still need to buy this DLC. So fair enough. Fair enough. It is a little more expensive than a lot of the sort of DLCs for Warhammer and things. So like those little smaller DLCs, this is a big chunky thing. But monsters finally. So this is something that I really wanted. It just adds so much gameplay depth, I think, to have a bunch of big, scary monsters. So we will be talking about those big, scary monsters, because there are some details on all three of them that I will be going over in a video soon, today. There'll be another video out today. But before then, let's have a look at this one. Wait, hang on. Nope. This one. Yes, this is the release FAQ. Okay, good. Sorry, the picture at the top is the same. I thought I was looking at the same thing twice. Anyway, so A Total War Saga Troy Steam release FAQ. So as part of the release for Troy Mythos, we're bringing A Total War Saga Troy and all of its DLC to Steam on September 2nd. This involves releasing a number of bundles, all of which are on discounted prices as we head up to launch, available from our own Total War store. Here's some more info. So, what are you doing? What are you doing? You. What is it? What are you doing? Stop that. No, Troy plus all of its DLC. It just needs like a weird heading. What are you doing? So it's what are we doing? Like it's them conveying the... Anyway, what are you doing? Troy plus all of its DLC is coming to Steam on September 2nd. You can wishlist it here and pre-order it here. They're links, you can't click on them because this is a video. Sorry guys. I want the most complete Troy experience. How do I get that? The Heroic Edition gets you Troy, the upcoming Mythos DLC, and the existent Amazons and Ajax and Diomedes DLCs, all for 40% off. Grab it here, or there. Grab it somewhere. Grab it. Wait, what about the Blood and Gore DLC? For age rating related reasons, we can't offer the Blood and Glory DLC as part of a pack with the main game. However, you can purchase it separately once the game is out. There. What else is on offer? There is also the Mythic Edition, which includes the base game and Mythos at 30% off, so that doesn't include the other historical DLCs. And the base game is also, I say historical, the previous DLCs. The base game is also available at 25% off. Here's a handy guide. There you go. It doesn't say the prices on the guide, so it doesn't seem that handy completely, but if you want to get everything, it's a lot cheaper, so that's nice. So, are these discounts time limited? Yes, although, as with all our pre-order deals, they will last until after launch, in this case until September 30th. So you basically got a full month of pre-order pricing, which is really good. That is a really generous, sale price. So, that's awesome. Really big fan of that. I hope that's something that they continue with other titles, because I think sometimes, a week isn't quite enough to, iron out sort of... You want better reviews, right? You want to be able to watch some Let's Plays, get a better indication of whether it's something you want to spend your money on sometimes, Sometimes just a week cheaper, it doesn't quite feel like enough. Especially if you've got, sudden expenses crop up or something. It might not seem worth getting, but you also don't want to miss out on the sale, so it's So a full month, that feels good. I like that. So anyway, how does this affect me if I own the game on Epic? It basically doesn't, other than we have the new Mythos DLC coming out. However, if you wish to own the game on Steam, you'll need to buy it separately. So if you own it on Steam, it doesn't magically come across... Sorry, if you own it on Epic, it doesn't magically carry over to Steam. It also means if you want to buy the DLC on Steam, you can't plug it into your Epic game, right? It's two separate platforms. Epic and Steam obviously don't get on, right? Not a lot you can do about that. So anyway, can I play multiplayer with people who bought and owned the game on a different store? Now, I say the platforms don't get on, but this is promising. So we're currently planning to implement and support cross-platform multiplayer between Epic Game Store and Steam. So this is important sort of infrastructure stuff, because we all know that Warhammer 3 and future titles, any future titles that Creative Assembly are doing, are going to be released on all platforms simultaneously, right? They're trying to make it a cross-platform thing so that the consumer can pick exactly where they want to get it from, which I think is brilliant. But you don't want to split up your multiplayer audience, you want them all to be able to play together, because multiplayers, often you see the same faces quite a lot, so to split it up even further is it would be a bit grim. So I like they're doing cross-platform multiplayer, and that is a priority, so I do like that very much. Is there any difference between the Steam and Epic versions of Troy? Nope. Other than which store you boot up first, and their various features and overlays, same DLC, same achievements, same build, same access. So no, get it on Epic to get, to get Fortnite in the game. Fortnite's not a character, is it? It should be. Mr. Johnny Fortnite. Get it on Epic to get Johnny Fortnite in your game. Ancient inventor of the Fortnite. So where can I pre-order? You can pre-order any of the available bundles on the Total War official store. The Mythos DLC on its own is also available for pre-order through the Epic Game Store if you own the game there, as well as the various bundles. Why can't I pre-order on Steam? As the original release of Total War Saga, Troy is already available for purchase elsewhere. Valve chose not to list the game for pre-order on its Steam storefront. This doesn't affect your ability to pre-order a Steam version of the game, however. Pre-order from our store, their store, and the game will appear in your Steam library after purchase. Can I wishlist it on Steam? Indeed you can. On Steam. So, can you pre-order it? So, I've been told that it should be available on my store. On my one, not my them. Not them, they're my. Oh my. So, nexus.gg/Janet, the bundles should all be there. Okay, so it's Steam keys, and they should have the same discounts. You should be able to get the different bundles. Supposedly. That's what I've been told. Sometimes there are hiccups with that, but if you want to support the channel and you want to pre-order, then yeah, get it from me. Don't get it from them. Nah. They get paid either way. Get it from me. Brilliant. Love you guys. So that's it. That's all I'm talking about with this stuff. That's right, that's all I'm talking about. However, I will be looking at the other stuff, the monsters, the individual monsters. This is just the basic stuff, okay? This is the basics. So we'll be looking at all the monsters from separate blog posts in a minute, today, sometime, in another video. Go find it. It's probably out already. You can probably find it. It's somewhere. It's probably linked in the description. And if it isn't, I've done a boo-boo. Someone comment and I'll pin it. Thanks. So yeah, comment, like, subscribe, pre-order the game or DLCs or whatever on nexus.gg/Janet, or if you're hoping to just buy the DLC on the Epic Store, you can use JanetOO. That's not 0000 for on and occasion. JanetOO at checkout on Epic Store, and I get a kickback from that too. Much more generous kickbacks from Nexus though. So I'd prefer that, you know, if you don't mind which one, do that one. Great. Love you guys. Comment, like, subscribe. See you in the next one. Take care.